All right, guys. All right, guys, happy October 6th, Friday, 8:35, you guys, coming to you, excited, coming to you. Very grateful for something that a lot of us might not have to face every single day. Well, from my house to get to the office here in Oakland, typically can be about an hour and a half in the morning commute just because of all the traffic. I literally had no traffic this morning. I don't know where everyone was. There was no traffic on the triangle going over through Tracy up the Altamont. I literally had a 3-minute delay and that was it. Usually that delay is about 30, 45 minutes sometimes. So I'm just grateful that I had such an easy drive into the office today. So I'm excited, you guys. Let's do this. I want to go to somebody to bring us out on the field. Then I have some thoughts. Then I have some sentiment. Then I have some things that I want you guys to think about and get introspective. And before we go there, no, actually, I'm just going to have that person take us out on the field first. I'm going to look around the room and who do I have here? I know people are driving. People are not stationary. People are stationary. So let's do this. And welcome to our guests. I see some guests on the line today. I'm going to go over to Dominique. Dominique, it's been a minute. It's Spare Air Day. I don't know what that is. So let's hear from you, Dominique, and maybe that's the question to what, or the answer to why there was no.
I thought it was, but I thought I seen something on the sign on the freeway a few days ago and said Spare the Air Day. So maybe it's today. But it was it's either today or it was yesterday or something like that.
It was such a breeze from my house. It was literally an hour and 11 minutes or an hour and 9 minutes, and I actually got here a little bit sooner than that. But let's have you take us out on the field today on this beautiful Friday morning. Let's go. Good morning, Blessing. Okay. And good morning, everyone else.
This was thanks for putting me on the spot. Okay.
I love you.
Good morning. Let's use this time and this time of the year to utilize our resources and what we have to help prosper our business. So whether that's using AI, whether that's using any type of technology source that will help you know more and get yourself out there more, let's do it, and let's put our best into it.
Beautiful. I love it. And, I just want to thank you personally. You've always been a great contributor, to coaching. And I know that so many people have just resonated with the knowledge that you've dropped here. So appreciate you. Thanks for bringing us out on the field. And yes, I did put you on the spot and I do that intentionally. So here's what I want to do. First and foremost, you guys, I need you to understand this. And I think that this is something that we all need to wrap our heads around because it is October 6th, but I would like to say something to everyone that's on this call and everyone that will see this recording in the future. I just want to wish all of you a happy new year because I believe that our new year has already started. I believe that there's no reason for us to wait until January 1st for that new year to begin, meaning that the work, the planning, the intention, the goal setting, the operational efficiencies, the making sure that your operating systems, and we'll talk about that in a moment, are all in place. So I want to wish you guys a happy new year. And I want you to think like that. This is the time where we need to raise the level of intensity, organization, processes, flow, cadence, and everything that we do. Because I don't know about you guys, 2024 will be my best year in business that I've ever had. I'm making a commitment to myself. I'll learn more, I'll grow more, I'll contribute more, I'll see more, I'll do more, I'll be on more stages. I'll just grow in ways that I never thought. I'll be married. So it's just going to be one of my best years that I've ever had. And it will most certainly be my best year in business. But why? I'm already planning. I'm already writing. I'm already so mindful about where we're going, where we're taking this company. We're already planning our year in review meeting, right? And what that's going to actually look like and the flow and the things that we're ordering. So I want you guys to look at yourselves right now and just say, Happy New Year. Okay. This starts now. Here's what I want you guys to do. When we look at for where we are right now till the end of the year, if you're sitting down, I want you to write this. On a scale from 1 to 10, how clear are you on your fourth quarter sprint, right? Because this is where we're at. We're in a sprint. We're in a sprint to the new year. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how clear are you on that fourth quarter sprint? Feel free to write it down in your own notebooks or put it down in the chat below, and let me pause for a second so I can allow you guys to write and or fill up the chat down below. For the people that are just getting into the room right now, let me ask the question one more time. On a scale from 1 to 10, how clear are you on your fourth quarter sprint? And I think I got some answers. Ooh, I love this. Okay, Patrick says 100. Otis says 10. You guys keep them coming. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Keep them coming, you guys. Who else has something? I only have 2 responses. Or just hold up your piece of paper in front of me. That way I know you're following along. You're actually doing this. If you're not driving, obviously be safe. 85%. Okay, cool. Ali said he's a 9. All right, keep them coming, you guys. Keep them coming. 8. All right, good. 7. Good stuff. 70%, 9. All right, I'm liking this. So whatever you wrote down, whatever you're putting down in the chat, good stuff. And if you're not at a 10, you need to ask yourself what it's going to take to get yourself to a 10. And my hope today is to give you even more clarity, because the message, the tone from now to the end of the year, and you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again, it's clarity. It's clarity on where you're heading, where we're heading, and what I can do to help support your vision. Because I believe that my biggest form of love for each of you, the way for me to show that I actually care is that I understand your vision. And if I could support your vision at the highest level and continue to push you towards the things that are truly, truly important to you, then my hope is that it brings us even closer, and that bond makes us even stronger as a coach, as a human, all those things. That's what I want for you guys. So let me ask you guys a question. How many people are into sports? It doesn't have to be just football, but it's football season. So we'll talk a little bit about football, but I know. All right, cool. How many people are Raiders fans? Please raise your hand if you're a Raiders fan. All right, cool. You guys can leave now. I love you, but go ahead and log off of the call right now. I appreciate you, but you don't have to leave, but you can't stay here. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Go Niners.
What? Hi, Liz. All right, so I knew something was coming. All right, you are at your game. You're the 49ers. You're whoever you are. So say you're down by 2 touchdowns. Say you're down. You're just losing the game. And then halftime comes. Is halftime the time where everyone just says, let's take a little break, let's get some water? No. What happens at halftime? They go into the locker room, and what happens? There's a locker room conversation that happens. And if your team is winning, then the coach is obviously, okay, let's double down. Let's do more of what we're doing. Let's keep this lead. Let's make sure that we're doing all the right things. Let's continue to do those things. But if the team is losing and the team is behind, do you think that they just go in there and have some refreshments and chill out and relax? No, there's some intensity in that moment. There's some intensity that is happening in that moment. So I want to ask you guys, what's that locker room talk for you right now? As we enter the 4th quarter of the year, as we enter the last stretch, the final push, you might have been behind. But you got a chance, right? You got a chance to still work, to still show up, to still run the place, to still keep things simple, to still run a West Coast offense. Whoever that is, mute yourself, because it's super, super rude and it keeps on interrupting me. Thank you. What does that 4th quarter speech look like for yourself? What is that locker room talk for yourself right now? If you had to go into a group right now and send them a message that resonates with them to get their ass into gear, to get yourself into gear, what does that sound like? You guys, you all have an opportunity right now to go into that locker room. And I'm having chills talking about this because I had this conversation with myself on my hour drive here. What does that look like? What does that sound like? You guys have to have absolute clarity right now. This is your 4th quarter. Step up, shake it up. What would that sound like if you were to walk into the locker room right now and have that locker room talk? So I wanted to start the conversation off with that. I want to put that into context just to get your mind working. So here's 3 things that I need you guys to focus on right now. Number 1, as we go into the next couple months, clarity. Is your mind scattered with all the things that you should be doing, could be doing, want to be doing? Oh my God, I should try this. Or are you just clear, right? Like, I know where I'm going. I know what's happening for the next 75 days, however many days that you're working. Do you have absolute clarity? That's number 1. Number 2, what is 1 to 2 things? Listen, 1 to 2 things. I'm not saying a lot of things that you can go all in on. Is that your prospecting? Is that your open houses? Musa was doing 30 open houses in 30 days. Like, what's 1 to 2 things that you could go all in on the next few months? Here's what I want you to stay away from. I want you to stay away from trying a bunch of new stuff right now, right? I want you to eliminate all of those distractions. Oh, let's sign up for this. Let's get this new thing. Like literally keep things so basic right now. If there was 1 to 2 things that you could go all in on right now, what would that be? What would that be? And for some of you, it's going to be different. And here's what I understand about each of you on this call is that we're in an era of real estate, and as real estate professionals, that we have the opportunity to be more flexible to generate leads in way different ways than we ever had. If the old school ways of knocking on doors, calling expired, calling FISBOs is not your thing, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you have another resource, such as social media, such as your community involvement, such as the events that you are throwing that allow you to generate more leads, that's okay as well. Because we're in an era now where agents can be more flexible and try different things, and it's working at a very high level. So if you had 1 to 2 things to focus on right now, just simplify everything, what would that be? And what would you go all in on the next couple months? And write down or keep those thoughts in your mind. Before I go any further, Damian, I want to make sure to get to your hand so I don't go too far into the conversation. Damian, what's good?
Oh, no, my bad. I thought we were responding to that question.
No, we will. And thank you so much for your participation at a high level. And I'm coming there, bro. So stay close. The third thing. So first one was clarity. Second one was 1 to 2 things that you can go all in on the next couple months. Number 3, your operating system. Does your operating system right now need a reboot? Does it need a refresh? Does it need a new system? Meaning, does it need to be overhauled, right? When I think about your operating systems, I made a video the other day and I shared this sentiment with you guys the other day. You are this amazing personality. You are this entity. You are this energy, right? Well, your business, I don't care how cool you are. I don't care how much energy you have. You could have all the spirit in the world like a Jess Bling. But if you don't have a system in place and you don't have an operating system in place, then all you have is this energy. Now, I know firsthand, I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of personality. I have a lot of passion for life. I just know that that's not going to run my business. It'll get me pretty far, but it's not going to run my business. And so I want to ask you guys, it's time to look at your operating system. If you were to analyze your operating system right now in your back end and what's fueling your back end right now, what needs to be improved? Do you need a refresh? Do you even have an operating system right now? If they pulled back the veil from Oz, what is there? I want you guys to think about your operating system. So clarity, 1 to 2 things that you can go all in on in the next couple months and have absolute clarity, no distractions, focus, go full tilt. And number 3, operating system. Is it in need for a reboot? Is it in need for an update? Okay, so stay with me. I got a couple more questions for you. I want you guys to ask yourself this. What are 3 great things that happened to you this week? Obviously, it is Friday. You've done tons of things. You've seen homes, you've wrote offers, you've taken your kids to school. Maybe you got in contract, you got a new listing. Maybe you launched a new campaign. Maybe you had a video that blew up, whatever it was. What are 3 great things that happened this week? And I want you to be clear on that. And I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. And I want you guys to spend some time in that glory because I feel it's super, super important. So 3 things that happened to you this week that were super, super positive. Next question. What was the main struggle you faced this week? What was the main struggle? Was it the kids? Was it your time management? Was it you were overwhelmed? You were moving? You felt stressed? You felt all over the place? You felt scatterbrained? You felt like nothing was actually working. You couldn't get your flow down. Like, what was it? Like, what was the main challenge that you faced this week? And if you were to turn that mirror around and you put yourself in my position, right? If you were coaching somebody else that had that same exact struggle that you experienced this week, what advice would you give to that person? What would you say to the Marcelina that said, you know what, I had a challenge with this, or I faced this, or, I couldn't get out of my own way? What advice would you give to another human being if they told you that those were the same struggles that they were going through? What would you tell that person? So stay with me, you guys. 2 things that you learned about yourself this week. What are 2 things that you learned about yourself? Did you learn that you are an amazing closer? Did you learn that you say on an average 20 to 15 ums in a 17-minute conversation? Did you learn about yourself that, man, you can create a dope video within like 2 minutes? It only took you 4 takes. Like, what'd you learn about yourself this week? Was there something good, something that you identified within yourself? Or was there something that you know that you need to work on? Like, man, I start losing my shit when I have 3 drinks. But if I stick to 1, I'm actually pretty good. But on that 3rd drink, I kind of go to the dark side. What did you learn about yourself? And I'm just giving you guys context here. One decision that you could have made, that could have made your life better this week or helped you move faster this week, what would that have been? What is one decision that you could have made that would have made your week better or could have helped you move faster this week? What would that have been? Right? What would that have been? Is it your follow-up plan? Is it your system? Is it creating the videos earlier in the morning? Was it creating a video before anyone was awake, and then by 7:30 a.m. you launched that video and let it do its work all day? Right? What was it? I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas for context here. Cool. I see you guys writing. I see you guys getting involved in the conversation. And let's go to the next. And I got a couple more for you, then we'll come full circle in this conversation. I want you guys to seek clarity. And on a scale from 1 to 5, determine something that you could get better at right now. What's one on a scale from 1 to 5? I want you to ask yourself, what is something that I could totally get better on? And let me give you an example. Rank yourself from 1 to 5 and say, maybe it's my phone skills. I need to rank myself. How good am I on my phone skills? On a scale from 1 to 5, how good am I actually on video? On a scale from 1 to 5, how good am I on my organization? On a scale from 1 to 5, how good am I at showing up, right? Like, rank yourself and seek some clarity and be like, what's one thing in my life right now in my business that I probably can improve upon? Rank yourself from 1 to 5. Raise necessity. So on a scale from 1 to 5, I managed my self-talk to stay on my A game. Ooh, God, I love this one. On a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being dog shit. And forgive the language. I managed my self-talk to stay on my A game. Are you laughing, Dominique? Oh, sorry. Or was that a sneeze? Sorry. Sorry. On a scale from 1 to 5, I managed my self-talk to be on my A game. On a scale from 1 to 5, how did you rate that? How well did you communicate with yourself this week? Were you good to yourself or did you beat yourself up? Right? Scale from 1 to 5, rank yourself. Productivity. Scale from 1 to 5, I worked on things that mattered the most this week. This is a good one, you guys, because now this is about your production, right? I worked on things that mattered the most this week on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Oftentimes what happens, and it happens to all of us, you guys, is that we find ourselves doing the things that come a little bit easier, but are not the things that I know that I need to focus on in my business, right? And so we start doing C priorities in place of an A and a B priority because maybe it's the path of least resistance. What I want you guys to do, I want you to look at the hardest things in your business, and I want you to muster the courage and find the intestinal fortitude to do those things first. Whether it's make the calls, knock on the doors, do the open house, create a video, right? If that is the thing that you find to be the hardest in your career right now, then do that first. You woke up, you got your hair done, you got your coffee, you actually feel good, you're at the peak of your energy, right? And when does that peak energy happen? My peak energy is always in the morning time, between 5 and 10 o'clock. That is my peak energy hours, right? So what are you doing in those peak energy hours? Or maybe your peak energy hours are 11 to 1. I don't know. We're all different. But ask yourself, did I work on the things that matter the most in my business this week? And then lastly, 1 to 5. This represents courage. And this represents that intestinal fortitude. I took action despite risk, fear, or doubt. I took action despite fear, risk, or doubt. On a scale from 1 to 5, where do I fall? Right? Did I live this week in a, oh my God, I'm so scared of that. Oh my God, I know I should get on camera, but I'm going to go another week of not fucking making a video at all. I'm going to go another week of telling me I'm scared of getting on video. I'm going to go another week of saying, I can't knock on doors. I'm by myself and I'm scared. Well, did you ask somebody to go with you? Did you partner up with a homie? Did you ask somebody on the team that is a male or another female to go with you? Right? So did you take action despite fear, despite trepidation, and despite doubt of what can possibly happen? I think oftentimes we get wrapped up in, oh my God, people are going to say no, people are going to slam the door. Well, welcome to this world, because that is the expected. But what happens if you do it long enough, then you get better at these things and you improve. And that's part of getting in the ring and taking the knocks on the chin. You take enough knocks on the chin, you're going to learn how to move better. You're going to learn how to counter better. You're going to see the punches coming. And that's part of being in the ring. But if you never step in the ring and throw those things, you never know what's going to happen. So the reason why I want to have this conversation is, I wanted to make sure that we're continuously on this journey of clarity. And I wanted to ask a few volunteers, if you've wrote anything down this morning, which I did see a couple people writing, give me a reaction on the screen down below. If you're on your desktop, the reaction button is down below. You'll see a little smiley face with the plus. Go ahead and give me a reaction if you wrote anything today, and I appreciate that. And then if you are walking or if you are driving, if you have the ability just to throw a hand up or give me one of these or give me one of these or give me one of these, Elias, because you always push me to think and I don't want to think about these things, but now I'm here and now I'm thinking about these things. That means I got to do something about it. So I need 5 people right now, 5 people to get involved with the conversation. Here's what I'd like to hear. I don't need all of your answers. I want to hear some of your answers. If there was something that resonated with you, if there was something that provoked you to think, if there was something about the locker room talk, whatever it is, I want to hear from you guys. So as I can see, tons of people have raised their hands. So first and foremost, I want to make sure to go to Damien because he had his hand up first. Do you want to wait a second, bro, while you're not driving, or do you want to go now? Or should I come back to you? You let me know.
No, it's good. I do way more reckless things when I'm driving than being on Zoom.
I love it. All right, big dog. Let's go, man. Where's your thoughts?
No, yesterday when I was in the office, I quickly had a conversation with Peter about business and just how to develop leads. And he gave me a really good tip. He's like, I don't door knock. He's like, I do social media. He was like, I post content. And he was like, if I didn't post all this content, I wouldn't have any business. And it resonated with me because yesterday I went in and did 2 videos, sent them to the shredder. The day before that, I did 5 videos trying to make up for the ones that I didn't record correctly. And I haven't gotten any of them back yet, but talking to him after I did 7 videos in 2 days, it really, it inspired me and motivated me that I'm doing the correct thing by doing that. And I mean, for 2 years, you've been telling me to get in front of the camera and talk more. And I just honestly, I didn't think I could make it look right. But now watching your videos come back from the shredder and how it's all presented, I'm super juiced and motivated to go about my business that way. Because God's honest truth, door knocking for me is terrifying. Like, I'll make phone calls all day, but door knocking in Oakland with being the way that being who I am, it scares the shit out of me. So I didn't want to door knock. But talking to Peter yesterday, he's like, that's my digital door knocking. And I said, okay, that's motivating. And one other thing that resonated this morning from this conversation, I was just talking to my wife about it. Like, what can you do better that you don't necessarily do? And I was like, put myself in the space to talk about real estate more. I'm not bashful about telling people I'm a realtor, but I'm just not in the spaces enough to have those conversations as frequently as I need to in order to attract business. So I have to start putting myself out there a little more to be able to do that. So appreciate
I absolutely love it.
For this conversation this morning.
I love it, man. And I love that, hey, man, I've been telling you that for 2 years, but sometimes it just takes your uncle, right? Parents, as parents, we tell our kids the same things over and over and over again. Then they go spend one weekend with their fun aunt and they come back and all of a sudden I've been telling you that for fucking years, right? So it's just sometimes it takes a different perspective. And so I appreciate that to me. And you guys, here's the thing. I'm always going to lead by example. I'm not perfect at this by any means, but I just want to share with you guys because if I'm going to ask you to do it, then by golly, I better be the one doing it as well. So I created a quick video and I wasn't shaved. I was in my living room or in my office. That thing has been played 4,600 times, liked 102, but check it out. It's been saved 42 times and shared 32 times. And it literally took less than a minute. And I'm getting tons and tons of DMs and talks about this fucking video. One video. Damian, you have such a presence and voice and you are spoken so well, man. I cannot wait to see the evolution and this identity shift, right? I think that it's important for you guys to recognize identity shifts because we might identify it in one way, but then all of a sudden we realize something about ourselves that allows us to shift our own internal identity. Dude, there was a time where I didn't want to share. There was a time where I was just, hard-headed, like I wanted to be like this old school Italian guy like my father. We don't talk about our feelings. Until I realized I need to open up and be who I am. And I was able to have more freedom. And so, Damian, dude, I appreciate that so much about you. So let's go Ryan Fong, let's go Jess Bling, and then we'll go O-Dog, and then we'll just continue going on. And feel free, anybody else who wants to get involved in this conversation. Ryan Fong, what's good? What's on your mind? What's your thoughts? What did you write?
So 2 things that happened this week was that I had 2 buyer consultations, one from an open house and the other one from social media. So, I mean, doing those, seeing how I already got those 2, just keep doing those. That'll definitely get me more buyers consultation and maybe even some sellers in the door.
So Ryan, but hold on a second. How long have you been creating these videos on social media, for example?
Only like 2 weeks.
And then, but how long have you been an agent with us total?
A while. But then I came back.
Yeah. So over a year, right?
Yeah.
And before this last couple of weeks, I knew nothing about Ryan. All I knew about him was he had a lady. That's all I knew. I didn't know how old those pictures were, but dude, I appreciate that about you so much. So great job. Way to show up. Let's go to O-Jog. Let's go to O-Dog or Ryan. Were you finished, bro? Or do you have anything else? Okay, cool. O-Dog, and then we'll go Jess Bling, and then we'll continue cruising through the hands.
I want to go back to the locker room talk. Someone who plays sports, that analogy was just spot on. Like, those are the times where you find out what you're truly made of. You're down 40 and 40 to nothing. The no give up, dig in, let's get it. Perfect example is you see every Sunday, teams are going into the half. They're down like 28-7, but fucking miraculously chopping away. Fourth quarter, it's 28-21. Then you get down to the last 4 minutes, you get that turnover. And the analogy that you were trying to use in implementing this to real estate, it's like the same thing. Some things are just not going to work, like the door knocking. You go out there and do stuff. I felt in the beginning a lot of that shit didn't work, so I never looked back to doing it. Even open houses, I've stayed true to online leads, and it's been very beneficial to me. It's getting referrals and everything, but I am kind of tired of it because when I see my CGI, and other people see it, it's like, yeah, it's up there, but don't forget, I shared it. I shared it with a lot of partners. And I say this because I know myself. I know I like to take on too many things, and I like to get myself in a position where I get too overwhelmed. And then October is just not a good month for me. I lost my brother. It'd be 10 years this 13th. Lost 3 of my first cousins in the month of October. So it's just bad. I just lost my mother-in-law. So not trying to fight, knowing that I'm going to have this range of emotions. So what do? I'm smart enough and not greedy enough to know that I need to delegate, because finishing up 2 projects, one that I'm so juiced to be sharing with Elias today and to the team, and I'm hopeful that we can see a way for us to all capitalize off of this, not just myself. You have to be a giver. The fact that I've been giving leads away since I've joined the team, I'm in the hopes that this new year, it's going to create that Smith effect that I've been wanting, is putting myself into other people and then bringing it back to me. I want to shout out Nina. She's probably one of the only people besides Melissa that I gave a lead up to, or multiple leads in, and she gave it right back. It's a listing that we kind of impossible with the seller, but I'm thinking between the both of us we can do. And I say this, know yourself, know what you're good at. try working on that. And then when you find that, delegate off to something else. This new year, I wrote 10 because I'm going to go do this pitch to Elias, and I know I'm going to kill it. I know the team's going to get on it. And it's just going to free fall my business and hopefully all the rest of the people that want to come aboard with it for the team if we get it. But I'm just excited to end the year on a trajectory where I know it's going to be up. So just knowing that, and just don't give up, just chip away, whatever it is, work on it. Like you said, if there's something that you haven't been doing, work on it. Because if the first thing worked on it, you probably just didn't put enough energy into the other ones. And you want a little bit more money, you're gonna have to not rely on those online lead sources. So I just wanted to share that.
That's right, my man. I always want to make sure that we're fostering an environment that doesn't create dependency, right? If like you remove the online leads, do you still have a really good flow in business, right? That's why I feel like oscillating through different wells is the best way to run a business. And I'll say that until the end of time. But great points, Otis. Let's go Jess Bling, then we'll go Jessica, then we'll go Dominique, Cortez. We'll just keep it flowing. So let's go Jess Bling.
Hey, good morning, you guys. I'm feeling really pumped about this session. It's so crazy, whatever you believe in spiritually, like the universe, God, like is really been moving through me a lot through this growth that's been happening for me the last year. And it's so crazy how like I'll be listening to something in the morning and then I'll hop on this call and it's like the universe is reiterating exactly what I just heard, but in a different perspective. And it's so beautiful to me. It's crazy how when you ask for signs, not only are they presented, but they're presented usually more than once. And so Elias, thank you for that. It blows my mind how crazy and how it's correlated. But you asked a couple of things that got me thinking, and a couple of ways that I've been honoring myself that are personal but also trickle over into my business is I've been working out like a fucking beast behind the scenes. And that's something that we downplay how much that discipline of getting the fuck up and showing up for yourself, we downplay that. And that discipline that you create within yourself to not fuck, and don't get me wrong, I'm still a foodie, but y'all don't see the shit that I eat at home. My meals are balanced. There's hella veggies on my plate all the time, but like having that balance and then knowing that those workouts, when I'm doing a fucking set and we're in class and we're getting yelled at because we're on our third out of fourth round and we're dying because the weight is so heavy. You don't realize how that discipline from your workout translates into your business. Like we're literally maybe 1 or 5 more conversations away from getting a fucking lead. And you wouldn't be surprised how many people quit. Like, and this is me talking to myself too. So just building that discipline has been something that's really big. And then, honestly, I'm a straight shooter most times. And sometimes I just say things and it could come off insensitive. And I've been working on my inner self-talk. Elias, you mentioned that. People also downplay how much affirmations and how much motivational videos don't work. They don't work because you don't let them fucking work. They don't work because you don't do them consistently. Like that's the biggest thing is consistency in my business, consistency in my personal, because it's all correlated together. So sorry, I don't mean to be too long-winded, but these are all the different things that like as you were talking, I'm like, this is God, like this can't be nothing different than that. And I've really told you, I've been like really honing in on my social media. And then to your point, Elias, I want to do more business in my city. So I've been partnering with people through my Rotary that I know that are small businesses so I can give back to the community. So my next 3 events are with local businesses here in Fremont, with that Zillow program. I'm here in Fremont. Like this shit is about to take off. But I've been also really diving headfirst into social media. And it's not just posting videos. Like I'm talking to people behind the scenes and literally sliding in DMs, like all of this shit. And just last week, like, fuck, this shit really makes me so emotional. I had the best week of my whole fucking real estate career last week. And like, I got 2 buyers into contract and a listing signed in the last fucking 5 days. And that's not to brag. I'm just telling y'all, like the discipline of the shit that you don't see, the workouts, all of that, like that translates into your business. How you talk to yourself. If you wouldn't let a stranger say the shit to you that you say to yourself, why the hell would you talk to yourself that way?
Woo.
If you would take off, square up, want to get defensive and get offended by something that someone would say to you, why would you say that shit to yourself? Anyway, so just all of this in a nutshell, I've strengthened my pillars with my business. Social media is where it's at for me. My sphere is where it's at for me. And then those events and I guess networking, those are my three things. And then to add the two additional are Zillow and Ojo, but I don't want to bank on those. If
That's
they
right.
come, but I'm not going to stop doing the fucking work. So thank you for this. But this
God,
is
I love this.
all the wins that I'm working on. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable. I'm working on a lot of shit with them myself, but just thank y'all so much.
I love it, Jess. I always love the high levels of passion and just realness that you display. It actually reminds me of a coaching session that I had yesterday with Jessica. And I won't talk about the whole details of the conversation, but one of the things that I said is that we all, no matter who you are, if we're all aspiring to be greatness or aspire for greatness in this business, to change our lives, to change other people's lives, to influence at a high level, to help people build generational wealth, to create a life of freedom and abundance for our families. And when we think and close our eyes, like what is possible from this vehicle that we call real estate, it's endless, right? Endless possibilities. So if I'm going to create greatness, I have to start with this vessel, because if you're not exercising, I'm not saying you have to pump heavy weight. I'm not saying that, but a 30-minute walk outside, a swim, a brisk jog, light weights, 20s, 10s, I don't care, the bike, right? But something to move your body, because if you want to display that I'm going to be a top producer, I'm going to provide so much for this business, then goddamn it, you got to start right here. You got to start right here. Look at people like John Cheplack. John Cheplack is 56 years old, didn't purchase his first house until he was 47 years old, and made $11.5 million last year, and will probably double that this year. And look at the dude. He is ripped. It's a non-negotiable for him that he's in the gym, because he knows all things start with this vessel. In order for him to give to other people and be the best that he can for other people, that vessel it starts with him. It starts with his own vessel. And so I love this message. Yes, let's go to Jessica, then let's go to Dominique. Jessica, thoughts, contributions, notes that you took, answers to the questions, rapid fire on this, because I want to make sure to get to everybody. Let's hear from you, Jessica.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what I was even going to say, honestly, because I just feel like I resonate with everyone. And it's true what Jess said, that every morning when I wake up before these calls, I think I'm like thinking about something in my head. And then when we get on these calls, I'm like, wow, like that's so crazy. I was just thinking about that. And it's like the universe puts this into existence, and well, something that I did want to say actually was that I've been getting leads from social media. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be focusing on my social media and community involvement. So
Beautiful.
that's that I'm willing to go full on.
Yeah, I love it. We had a coaching session the other day, and we said, let's focus on the pillars, right? You have your sphere of influence, you have social media, you have community involvement, you have your farm, you have company generated leads. Well, she's focusing on two pillars that I believe if she does this and she does it effectively and she does it consistently, she's going to have so many great opportunities to be known as that Richmond Realtor. And now partnering with Marcelina, and then your guys' two energies and this spirit that you bring, I cannot wait. And I cannot wait to see the Hilltop video, right? What's happening at that Hilltop Mall. So many great things to come. I appreciate your contributions and insight. Let's go Dominique, then we'll go Liz, then we'll go Cortez, and then I'll come full circle back to you, if that's a new hand. Let's go, Dominique.
I would say the clarity that I am focusing on my business right now is connecting and getting in front of my sphere and in social. So the things that I worked on for clarity and getting in front and being more connected with my sphere is I made Google Forms, and it asks questions about them, about their kids, their pets, when's their birthdays, what holidays do they celebrate, because not everybody celebrates certain holidays. And so that Google form went out, and I also stacked up on my gift cards. And so one of my main lines is that reviews is what keeps my business brewing. And so then with that, and I send with my Zillow link, I send it with a gift card to buy a coffee. And so those are things that I'm focusing more on so that I can hone in on people who contact me but haven't yet jumped. And then, you know, whatever service I provide them, you know, and then just kind of connect with them. And whenever their birthdays come or their pets' birthdays, I will send out a card and email with that.
Now, is this just for your consumers or just your people, like your sphere, everyone? They're not working with you. It's just for you to be in contact with them?
Correct. It's people who've actually contacted me, but it's just like maybe they asked a question about taxes or whatever. It's not really like a lead, but it's for everybody that's contacted me, whether it's been about real estate or not, or just kind of like, you know, other things that relate to their house, but not really buying or selling. It's for everybody. That way I can keep in their head. So those were the things that I focused on. That was my clarity. I woke up thinking, it was a few weeks ago, I woke up thinking like, I need to connect more with people who contact me. How do I do that? Well, I'll send a Google form and I'll get all their information. And that way, when I can put all their information inside of my Google Calendar and then dish everything out like that.
You know, it's in direct alignment with like who you are as a person, because I always, you know, I was talking about you the other day with Amanda. She's like, have I met Dominique? And I was like, I don't know. You guys are homies though online. Like, she's like, I just feel so connected to her. And she's like, we should hang out with her. I was like, I thought you guys, have you met my fiance?
I've never met her, but we talk all the time.
Okay, so here's the point. Like you're doing the things that you do naturally. You are a connector. You are a nurturer. You're somebody that truly cares about people. Like, just so you guys know, Amanda's sister passed away a few months back, and Dominique sent her flowers, and Dominique's never even met my fiance, but like the impression that you've already left on her, and she's never even met you, like you're already loving on her. I could only imagine how your people feel that are even closer to you. And so leaning into the things that really light up your soul, and it allows you to connect, because I believe, just knowing you and spending this much time with you, like you believe in those deep connections, and it shows in your content too. And so there's like, think about congruency in all the things that she's doing. It's not like she's picking some script and like, oh, I'm going to speak this script. And I'm not knocking that. But what she's doing is that there's congruency in the way that she builds relationships, the way that she builds content, and the way that she's building and building and building. It's all congruent based on how she wants to be known and be viewed in the world. And it's really powerful. So it's good stuff, Dominique. And I'm looking forward to seeing you later on here in the office.
Yes.
Cortez, let's go to you, and then Liz, we'll go over to you. I see that you're on your walk as always. I love that. Cortez, what's good, big dog?
So I had a pretty interesting week, and first I'm gonna get on myself. Things I could get stronger on in my business is being more organized. A lot of people know, some people don't. I didn't have my license for like the last few months. And the main reason is because I didn't check my mail, right? If I would have been checking my mail, I would have took care of the business that I need to take care of a lot earlier. But so on good notes for this week, I went into a restaurant in Napa the other day, and it was called Nick the Greek, right? And I saw this girl in there. I was like, hey, what's up? You remember me? She was from like junior high or something. And she was like, are you a realtor? And I said, yeah, I'm a realtor. How'd you know? And she said, oh, your flyer was on my door, and I'm thinking about buying a house. So I said, oh, really? So we had a conversation. So we made a connection, right? So it just made me feel really good, because I am a door knocker, you know, and so that made me feel like I got to keep door knocking. So as far as social media goes, I got a lead from social media last week where a guy, he said, hey, I'm really concerned about my family. You know, they're all working hard, and they just renting. So I want to get them all together, and I want to see if you could talk to them and see if we could get it all together. Can you get a lender, do all that? So we put it together within a week, and that's what I was really proud about, that we put the whole event together. Like, I talked to him on a Tuesday. We had the seminar this Sunday in the Fairfield office. About 10 of his family members came. I had a lender. It was me. We had an insurance guy. It was great. Out of those 10, 7 people filled out applications. So I think that was just super productive, you know. So last night, the last thing, and I want to shout out Peter, because he's gave me a lot of advice with the social media. So I pretty much copied off him with my social media stuff.
Good.
And community involvement. I am actually throwing my second annual toy drive And we're going to do it at the Fairfield office too. That's December 16th. We already got the space booked and we're ready to go. So if anybody want to help out with that, reach out to me. And I'm just working, man. I'm excited. I'm grateful. And not having my license, you know, I guess they say you never know what you don't have till it's gone, right? I was really bored for 2 months. I mean, I partied a lot, I had a good time, but I'm ready to get back to work.
That's right, bro. It's great to see, man. Great to see your contributions. Good stuff. Putting that together in a short time frame, explaining the benefits, helping them understand, man. I absolutely love this. Let's go to Liz, and we'll go back to Ashley. Ashley, I know you had your hand up a second ago. Let's go, Liz. What's good? What's your thoughts? What's your contribution?
Well, first of all, Cortez, I hear you. I procrastinated and didn't have my license for a couple of days, but oh my God, I felt lost. I was like so nervous. So I'm so blessed that I still have my license. I was able to get that done so quick. But anyway, first Tuesday, first Tuesday is the best one. Anyway, so I have a couple of wins. One of them is personal. So my son, he goes to community college because I mean he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life. He was thinking business, you know, majoring in business, and his passion is soccer. So his coach from the competitive soccer from when he was in high school, him and a couple of other boys were, you know, going to community college, and he knew the opportunity to play soccer at Chabot College because in Las Positas they already had their team, so there was really no possibility to get into that team. So my son is back on the field playing soccer.
Yeah.
And I love being back on the field myself. I miss that so much. Anyway, so I enjoy watching my son play soccer with his buddies on the field at Chabot College. And then on another note, as far as his friends, so he was also thinking of getting his real estate license, but I have a guest on today. One of his friends is already working on getting his license. So I invited him to this call and he's on right now. So I feel like that's one of my wins, having him join us today.
Dope.
And the fact that he's getting his real estate license. So I'm going to introduce him to you.
Yeah, for sure. What's his name? So I can just say hello. What's his name? So I can just.
It's Martin.
What's up, Martin? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you took something from this group. Liz, always appreciate you being here. You know, consistent top producer in our environment and continues to show up. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you guys.
But
sorry.
I do need to do more. I do need to get more organized, and I do need to get out there into my community because the last video I did, and when I featured the manager of the Mexican in that restaurant in Hayward, I noticed that's when I got the most views and the most likes and the most connections. So I know that I need to get back out there to the community and start making my calls because I do have that database that I need. All I need to do is actually take action, make the calls, and connect with my past clients and my sphere.
You guys, everything in this business is not a riddle. Everything is rooted in consistency, right?
Yeah.
Because when you do the things consistently, then you're going to get the activity. And then you're also going to get the body of work that you can analyze and say, ooh, that didn't really work for me. Now I need to make some adjustments, but everything is rooted in consistency. I'm going to do this. I'm going to share my screen really quick. And I want you guys to do this. We're going to start intensity today. I know a lot of you are going to be in intensity, and this is going to be, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be intense, but I want to share this with you. If you're not doing intensity and you're looking for an opportunity to find more sellers. All right. So this is something that is going around the industry right now. And I want to put you on game because if you do this and you do it effectively, I promise you, you're going to get people just to inquire about what the fuck do you mean by this? And that's what I want. I just want engagement. This is called a ZMA. And let's say you take 10 people that you know buy or own homes. Or maybe say take 20, just go through your database, right? Aunties, uncles, past clients, people you know. And all you do is you go on Zillow and you plug in their address and then let Zillow do a Zestimate, right? And you know, obviously the Zestimates are always off and sometimes they're significantly off. So what you do is you screen grab that, okay? Now you screen grab that. That is in your pictures, you have that. And all you do is you say this simple script. Hi, Dominique. I was on Zillow earlier looking for a few properties in your neighborhood, and I thought I'd check out your home on Zestimate or check out your home Zestimate. They estimate your home value at 1.849. I have my opinion, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? ... or question mark. What do you think people are going to say if that value is significantly lower, Dominique?
Well, they're going to say that they don't agree with it.
Totally. And then what would you say?
And then I would say, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, no, and listen, hey, I would say this. I don't agree with it either. I don't agree with it either. Homes in your neighborhood have been selling for an average of X amount over asking price over the last 60 days. And hey, it would be in your best interest for me to at least share with you the actual value of what's going on and the reality of the market in your neighborhood. I'm going to be out there I'm going to be out there tomorrow. Would love to stop by, say hi to you guys, and drop you off an actual, CMA. Like, that's powerful. All you're doing is starting a conversation. That is it. Wait a minute. No way. Our house is worth 2 million. Where'd you get this? You know what? I totally agree. Let me share with you what the actual value of your home is. This script is working across the nation. And I want you guys, even if you're not in an intensity, to put this into practice. Put it into practice. And then let's come back next week. Share with me if you got any hits on it. Tell me if anybody got involved in the conversation with you, because I think you'll find it effective. Let's do this. Let's wrap the conversation. I want to go to Marcelina. Marcelina, key takeaways from our time together today. 1, 2 key takeaways. Let's go to you first and foremost.
Key takeaways is recognizing your wins and your losses. We all win, and every week is different. This week I felt like I won a lot. I went to events, I did a key day, but that's not all my weeks. And it's just recognizing that so that you can have room for growth. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I thank Ashley for that. Ashley Gervich, she's on here too. She's really been pushing me, and 1% better every day. So that's my takeaway today.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And so I'm loving seeing how you're partnering, just part of this environment. And I'm excited to see what's on the horizon for you guys. Carlos Sandoval, let's hear from you, big dog. Key takeaways from our time together today, rapid fire. Let's hear from you.
Just how even your personal life translates into your business life, right? And then how, like, because I noticed, like, when I kind of started going to the gym, that discipline of going to the gym translated into my business, right? I stuck with going to the gym, had a schedule. Same thing over here with my business side.
That's right, bro. I love that, man. I love that. Those two correlate. And once you realize that, okay, mind, body, and spirit, it's all intertwined, things just become a lot easier. No, it's never going to be easier. It just becomes easier. Like this, we have to take care of this first form. Watch what you eat. Like, I'm going through this with my 18-year-old right now. Like, she's 18 years old and thinks that she can go to In-N-Out and then later on with her friends, go and get some fucking ice cream. And she didn't work out. I was like, listen, you got to take care. You got to make healthy choices. You got to make healthy choices. So yeah, look at nice. It's like, let's go last person. Before we head out, I'm going to go Chris B. Key takeaways from our time together today. Big dog, let's hear from you. I'm going to have you close out our session so I can get ready for intensity.
Key takeaways for me is just self-evaluation, being honest with yourself, having total clarity on everything you do. I know just living life in this world with everything that goes on, it's easy to get your focus off task and get blurred and start just going with emotions. But you need to kind of dial yourself back every day and just be clear on what you need to do and what your goals, and then do the activities every day to move the needle forward, and just clarity. And hope everybody just gets clear and just kills it this weekend with your appointments, and let's make things happen. Be clear, folks.
I love it, man. And I appreciate you. Hopefully I see some of you guys tonight out at Ophelia and Joellen's event in Vacaville. I'm going to be making the trek out there. But also, before we close out, you guys, the new year is coming, and there's a high performance planner. And this is from Brandon Bouchard. And Brandon Bouchard wrote the high performance. I forgot the title of the book, but the one book that he wrote that resonated with me the most was the Motivation Manifesto. Excuse me, I got it. But he created this planner. And what's great about this is that it helps you analyze, like, my morning mindset, all the things that I want to ask myself, obviously the daily events, and then like evening journal, like what were the things that I'm going to reflect on that happened really good in my day, in my week. And then you have a monthly, like, how do I review my month, my week? How are things going? This is a really, really powerful tool. And the reason why I was reminded of this, Joellen, when she was at EXPCon, sent me some links to Brandon Bouchard of all these things. I was like, man, I was so deep into all that. I've read all of his books. And I was reminded of this planner. So you guys go pick up one of these planners as you guys are entering the new year. It's probably about $30, but I promise you this, if you're a writer, if you're somebody that likes to really, really get yourself into state via writing every morning, this is a really, really good planner. Buy that and thank me later. You guys have an amazing day. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and destroy your weekend. Peace. Judith, if you could stay on for a minute for me, that would be great. Everyone else, don't have to leave, but you can't stay here.